So Corbin, you and I kind of talked a little bit about how all companies are tech companies before the podcast started, and would love to unpack that.
Well, this is 21st century, right? You have a computer in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Every company, whether they want to or not, whether they are intentionally managing their image online or not, have an image online, right? Even if it's just a couple photos from Google Maps about this is what your storefront looks like. People are really good at finding ways to review you. So if you're not managing that or responding to that, you might not even know what your persona online and how people view you in the digital realm. And just a generational thing too. As our generation becomes more the buying power, we're very comfortable with Googling and searching and stalking is what we like to call it. Like, who's ever gone on a date, modern date, and not like looked at this person's Facebook and Instagram and like checked out their family and maybe did a slight like criminal background check as best they can. Like, people do that.
Mm.
Like,
So
we
what you're
want
saying is,
information about people, and we're going to find it one way or another, whether or not you're putting it out there.
right. So what you're saying is that because of our ability to research things on the fly, it's hard to live in this day and age without being technical in some aspect or another.
Yeah, because if you don't manage what you're putting out, someone else is going to, and you can't assume that they got your best interest. They don't know your vision. They don't know what your mission is. So if you are not purposefully putting that out there and presenting that as a brand, as an image, as your story, then how could people actually know it? It's just going to be impressions. And from just, basic sociology, we know that the only people that review are usually angry people or people who had a fantastic experience, which it's nice when the fantastic people do, but people ignore those. Like, most people don't read a 5-star review. Most people read the 1-star reviews. Like, it's a great, you can search when you're looking at reviews, you can sort by 2 and below, and people will leave a 2-star review for silly things. So if you can't have an opportunity to respond to reviews, if you don't even know that those reviews are out there. I worked at a company, and every feedback that we got was a card. That was our like a formal feedback that we would get would be a thank you card, which is nice. It's a good personal touch.
Mm-hmm.
But then until I got there, I was like, hey, did you know that we have people reviewing us very negatively and we're not responded in 6 years to these people? And it looks like we don't even know we have a business. And so that's a big deal. We had to look at that and, okay, how do we respond now that it's been a while, we really should have responded earlier. Or sometimes we would put things out that were outdated or really were confusing and didn't match our story.
Right.
So, but when you manage that, you can use free services to advertise for you. You can use positive experiences to sort of like propel your company forward without a ton of cost.
Most of the time I'll look up the reviews, and there's always going to be 5-star reviews. Some people actually pay other people to give five-star reviews, but a lot of the time I'll go to the 1-star or the 2-star, and I kind of go from there. And if it's like, say it's a restaurant and you see there's more bad reviews than good reviews, I'm probably not going to go there. Yeah. So what would you say is a really good way to navigate navigate around that? Like, how can a company provide services that are good enough to leave a good review? What is something that you believe that should be of focus?
Well, I think that's a bit of a misnomer. How you're reviewed online is very rarely a true reflection of your service. So I knew a company, they had a third-party payment processor that double charged everyone for a day after they had put out a new update and had done a big promo. And so they had a ton of sales. And their third-party processing card processor double charged on everyone's accounts. And now they got letters, they got people complaining, they got People very upset, like rightfully so. You're getting double charged for a service, and they had people that would call them and be like, "Hey, what's the deal?" And that was actually, it ended up being a good thing because they responded to every single customer that day. They were funded, and then they followed up with personal communication to every single person. And some of it was just a phone call, some of it was just an email. But having made a mistake and responding well to it, they had a better overall impression in the market than if they had never had a mistake in the past. So it's a bit of a misnomer to be like, oh, we have no problems, that's how we're going to have great service. No, it's when you have a problem and you fix a problem and you show that you fixed the problem.
Right.
Those are way more important.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a really good strategy for a lot of companies to follow. Just looking online, Instagram, sometimes people give other like companies pretty bad reviews, and a lot of them end up turning off comments or responding very negatively to those comments. But I've seen other companies that are successful in what they do in their field, and a lot of them they take negative comments very, very well and constructively. Like Webflow being one of the companies that I can think of that does a really good job with their communication between themselves and their customers, either on their social media or on their blogs. Like I've seen a lot of comments where somebody has an issue with the software and reviews negatively, and within minutes they get a response, and it's very receptive, it's very polite and constructive. And yeah, and I just from what I know from Webflow, they're doing really well, and a lot of people have been seeing those comments and are actually going to them for their services a lot more than say like Wix or a couple of other website services. So
I think you nailed it on saying that they were polite. Like basic professionalism in the current market, for whatever reason, is above and beyond. Like basic professionalism, saying thank you, like respectfully saying, welcome in. Like, how are you doing today? Like very basic, simple things, not like a script, but like human.
yeah,
Basic professionalism goes a long way in promoting your brand, especially if you're trying to promote a professional brand.
it does.
Right? Some of the big fast food chains are like notorious for some of their tweets back at each other, and they're bashing each other. And it's enjoyment, it's entertainment, but they're a food company. They're not an entertainment company. And you kind of really miss sharing your story and your vision and who you are when you are trying to be entertaining. And like that would never be an appropriate interaction in person. So when a company responds, it should be the same response as what like a CEO would respond. Someone who is very high,
Who believes in their vision,
who knows their vision very well, who it would be appropriate for them to respond. That's the type of response it should have.
right.
So they should be calculated.
Exactly. And that from what I've seen, that bleeds over into sales too. Because if you have salespeople that do believe in your vision, you're going to have more people buying your product or service. If your salespeople believe in what you're doing, same with the responses, the social media marketers or the people that are handling your social media, if they're responding and they understand and they believe in the company's vision as a whole, the responses that I've seen are very, very positive and are received very well.
That's an intimidating thing. Like a social media specialist. You're like, oh man, I'm gonna have to pay someone. What am I gonna have to pay them? They're a professional. They're gonna be a lot. But calm down. It's free. You're not paying. You might pay for someone's time, but you're maintaining your image. Something that's very important. You're maintaining your vision, and like Facebook is free. How you managing what you give out as information is free. So you got to think of it that way. You can spend no money to manage your online presence and your online data and how it goes around. Marketing is a hard thing because oftentimes it's seen as a cost center, just like employees are oftentimes seen as a cost center. But if no one knows your mission and your employees don't know your mission, how could you expect it to ever succeed? Like if no one knows where you're going, why would they want to go with you? If no one knows how you're going to get there, why would they why would they want to go with you?
Yeah.
It's really important.